Greetings everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Unclear and today we're doing a Warlock build which will take you into Edge of Fate campaign, especially on Legendary difficulty, and will even be useful in the Day 1 raid. So if you're new to Warlock, or Warlock is going to be your new main, this build is for you. Alrighty, this build will focus around using solar precision hits as the artifact next season, as we know, in the third column, will have a perk called Fever and Chill. Now this means rapid precision hits with solar weapons grant you Radiant. Now for those of you who don't know, Radiant gives you a damage bonus while Radiant is active and makes all your weapons intrinsically anti-barrier. So if you've got weapons that you want to use for anti-barrier but you can't get there, or you want to use, say, an LMG for barrier champions, you can get yourself Radiant and then use it to take down shields. It's actually really nice. It's actually a really good way to make anti-barrier weapons. Now this does not override the artifact and does not override the intrinsic champion mods weapons have, especially if they're exotic. But you can make a anti-barrier Galahorn, which I think is pretty cool. So going over the build and why we've picked certain mods. So obviously the main Warlock build for all Day 1 content is a speaker site build. This time I've gone something a bit different, and the stat distributions of the mods I've used are different to my last video. So this time we're actually going to focus our build around Red Death as well as speaker site. Now for those who don't know, Red Death is a pretty unique weapon. It's a pulse rifle that heals you. If you played D1, you know what it does. It also heals your allies. And after a certain amount of precision final blows or final blows, it actually charges up a healing burst. And once it's maxed out, next enemy defeated lets out a healing burst for you and your allies. So only are you going to be healing yourself with every final blow. Every reload after a final blow will heal your allies. And then every, I think it's like 5 final blows, I think, or even less, you get a charge, which then will give you a healing burst on your next final blow as well. So it's actually pretty fantastic. Check on the old skin, of course. Original skin. Alrighty, in terms of the class setup, it's really simple. Well of Radiance, whichever one you want here. I personally prefer Phoenix Dive, but Healing Rift is the other option as well. Healing Rift is quite nice. It means people can stand in it for a bit longer and sort of get it overshield and keep going. But Phoenix Dive, because of the cooldowns, it's just a bit nicer. Then we have Incinerator Snap and obviously Healing Grenade. Now you can actually use you have to use Touch of Flame here. This is a must for this build, otherwise your grenades do not heal as much as they should do. Then we have Icarus Dash or Helion, depends on how you want to go. I personally prefer Icarus Dash, especially if I'm out of cover and I need to get into somewhere really quick, because if you're healing people and putting your well to save your teammates, you're the one, you can't be the one in gunfights dying. So I use Icarus Dash to get out of the gunfights. In terms of armor setups, I'll show you a dim on my screen in a second of how the stats actually play out. But for helmets, I'm a speaker site, standard stuff here. You put the mods on where you need them. For me, it's a bit of intellect, a bit of discipline. For gloves, more discipline and a font of focus. Now the font mods are going to be a sort of primary aspect to this build, because font mods, if you don't know, they grant you 30, 50 or 60 stat points, depends how many you've equipped, to that particular character stat. So for here, Font of Focus with 1 gives me 30 discipline. If I was equipped 2, it gives me 50 discipline. If I was equipped 3, 60 discipline. So you get an extra 60 stat points every time you pick up an Orb of Power. Now you want to make that last longer? We're going to show you how to do that as well. So for here, I only need 30, because I got 70 discipline. I've chucked on a Font of Focus. Here, I don't need anything, but you can chuck on endurance mods for resilience, or the next DLC will be health. So if you want more health, you can chuck on these to get extra 30 stat points in that if you wish to. I have got charged up here, so it gives me 4 stacks of armor charge instead of the usual 3. And there's a good reason for that. On the boots, I have 2 fonts of agility, which give me 50 stat points to mobility, which is your weapon damage next season. Or next DLC, I keep saying season, it's next DLC. So this will go to 145 stat points, and I'll show you that in a second. And obviously on the class item, the one that you really want to use is Time Dilation. This goes from, I think, takes it from 12 to 15 seconds per armor charge. That mixed with me having more armor charges allows me to have, what was it, 15, 30, 45, 60 seconds, so 1 minute of increased stats every time I pick up an Orb of Power. And you can keep that going, so as you decay, so your first lot is 15 seconds, pick up another one, you get 30. Then you get another, then you get 45. As long as you have 1 armor charge, if you got an orb, it just keeps refreshing the timer, and you can keep picking up till you get to 4 again. So it's actually phenomenal. It's a great way to work. We did use it a lot back in day 1, when it first dropped, but Warmind cells were, I think, a bigger thing back then. So if we jump over to Dim, as you can see here, here's the build on the screen. Here's all the mods I just went over. Now, as you see here, I have 145 mobility. I have 60 resilience, 60 recovery, 100 discipline, 100 intellect, and 29 strength. I don't build it into strength for this build because it's a healing build, and not many things you use require you to use a melee. Most of you end up just using your sidearm or your red death to get the enemies out of your face, or just Icarus dash out and then create some space. But that is the build, that is the stats. Let's jump into some gameplay so I can show you how it works in the live game. But before I do that, if this video has helped you and you want to use this build, I'll leave a dim link down below as well. And if you click on the dim link, a great way to support me would be just using the like button. Or if you want to support me even further, it really goes a long way, and just leaving a comment. If you don't know anything you want to comment, just put healer down below. Honestly, I'll respond to everyone. So if you've got any questions about the build or you want other builds for Warlock, let me know. I'll put some more out there as well. But also we have Titan and Hunter coming soon. So be sure to stay to the channel, like the video, hit the subscribe button, make sure you comment. It really does help me out.